Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've watched my previous video then you would have saw me decorate this page. And what I'm going to do now is move on to decorate this second empty page that I have. And this one's going to be quite a simple page in that it's not going to have any lace or anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a layered paper. So first and foremost I'm going to put some interesting ephemera or paper down. And what I've got is I've got these from the Graphics Fairy and I've been using them throughout this journal. So I'm going to rip down here. I like, especially when it's old ephemera like this, I much prefer it to be ripped. You know, it just makes it look that little bit more authentic, doesn't it? I'm going to very lightly just distress the edges, just to make them pop a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them at different heights and things like that. Okay, I might actually just rip it in half because the majority of this is going to be covered. So that's going to go there, and I can put another piece of it further down then. So just making your ephemera work that little bit harder for you. So a little bit of glue, if I can get my glue out. A little bit of glue all the way down. I think I need some more glue. And like I said in my previous video, these are just ideas to help you just build up a little bit of an embellished page, because every so often in the journal, maybe a third of the pages I like to decorate because it just gives you a little bit of enjoyment from the whole process. So I like to decorate some of the pages and then leave plenty of room for writing. So for example, if I turn over this page, yep, that one's decorated. But there's plenty of room in here for writing as well, so it still has got a practical use and you're still getting a little bit of fun out of it yourself. I've got a map here which I think will be great. See, I don't want it to cover too much of the other layers that I've added. So I'm going to take a little bit off and that will go there like that. So I love that. The whole theme of this journal is somebody's holiday vacation. So I've got real vintage photos included. I've got a kit on my Etsy store where I've got them all backed up as well. So if you guys want to get your hands on any of those. But I've done real life ephemeras included in here, real photos, real tickets, all that type of thing is in here. So I'm keen to add to that by any replica ephemera, or you know, any that I get off the Graphics Fairy or anything like that. I'm keen for it to match the theme. I think this matches really well. Put that about there. This one is going to be super simple. Shall I add a bit of music? I'll add a bit of music further down, so I'll distress that because it's quite pale around the edges. I've stuck that upside down, but I'm not too bothered. Yeah, I'll leave it as that, I think. I like it just a little bit. And what I also do is, when I'm doing a journal, I save like these little scrap papers. Okay, so I've got quite a bit in here. So anything that's come out of the journal, you know, just little odd bits, I include these type of things. So I'm just having a little look through, seeing what I've got. Okay. Okay, so I might add a little bit that way, just there, just to add. I don't think that needs to go in the scrap, that can go in the bin. I did go through a phase of saving every tiny little bit of scrap, but you just never get round to using it unless it's a decent size now. I'd just chuck it out. Okay, now what I want to do is I now want to add some vellum over the top, but I think I might add in a little bit of, I did want to add in a bit of this, but I really like how it is at the moment. So I really wanted to add in some of this book, but I think if I add in some of the book, it's just going to take away. So this is the book, brilliant book for anything botanicals, beautiful images in here that you can fussy cut out. But I'm worried that I'm just going to ruin what I've already done. Lovely ferns. I might just fussy cut one out, maybe a fern. I don't know. Maybe if I just ripped one. I feel cautious making such a big gamble with such a beautiful book. But it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you're just going to hoard it forever, aren't you? So yeah, I'm going to... And as much as I love doing that, I try not to, because you do hold on to stuff so much. And I just think, like these vintage photos in here, I've used some of the originals, which I wouldn't ordinarily do, but I'm just thinking, well, I've got the originals just sitting there, I've scanned them, I've backed them up. You know, it's no good not using your best paper pad because you love it so much. You've spent however much money on it. It's crazy what we do, isn't it? It's true what they say, buying journal supplies and actually journaling, they're two separate hobbies. And I've always got time for the purchasing. Somehow I've never got time for the making. That's my priorities that are wrong there. Okay. Yeah, I love that. Now this is bent on both sides, this tracing paper, so I don't think I'll be able to get that out, so I'm just going to rip it off. Okay. I'll leave the tracing paper loose. And I'm just going to put a line of glue along the top. Okay. And I'm just going to add a few little bits of embellishments. Might add a bit more of that because I like that paper. Is this even sticking? I seriously need some more glue. And then I've got these little stickers that I bought off, where did I get them off now? Somewhere like Etsy, but it was one of the cheaper stores. I don't usually like buying from the cheaper ones, but I saw these. I think it was Tina who recommended them, I'm not sure, I can't remember. I'm going to stick that there, and I'm also going to put some a wax seal there. I'll do the wax seal last because I want to add some stamps down here. So I've got two old vintagey stamps, which I'm going to put underneath. Give them a good stick. Again, these are one of those things I just hoard onto these, so that's what I'm doing. Giving someone a chance to own this and enjoy it, because I'm just going to be listing this journal on my Etsy store as well. So it's just passing all my bits of ephemera along, really. Okay, those two are there. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on the vellum. I've got these tickets. They are rip-off of the Tim Holtz ones that I've bought on AliExpress. I really know you shouldn't. It's one of those ones that I bought them before I even engaged my brain thinking, what am I doing? You know, we've all had those moments. Now I'm using a Memento Toffee Crunch, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the very top, because I just want those numbers. I'll stamp that onto the vellum. Then I'll do some of the other numbers at the top. You can't really see those ones, so I might use a darker ink for those. Oh, sorry. Did I just knock you? So at the top I'm going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black. Oh, don't know if I've quite done that. Oh God, what am I doing? You should see my desk. I know normally in my videos I have my desk quite clean, don't I? Not today. It's just one of those days. Right, I think I am going to stick it down in the corner. You can't really see that if I stick it down, but it's too ruckled up. So I'll put a tiny dot of glue in either corner just to hold that down. Yep. And now I'm going to add my wax seal. Now I have, this is an actual, I'm going to use actual wax rather than hot glue. Let me hold that down with that. Okay, so what I do with my wax seals, I just set it, I light it. Just seems to be fizzing out, I'm not sure why. Okay, there we go. So it's fine. Oh, it's going to dwindle out, I think. So I just let it puddle on the top, I let it burn, and I let the wax puddle on the top. And then I just tip it to the side, and the wax will just start dripping on the paper. There we go. And then I just move it ever so slightly so it's not just puddling straight in the middle. I do drop it in the middle just so it doesn't dry too much. And then just rotate your wax seal so that you're burning all sides. And then if you want to have a bit of separate wax, you know, drop a bit over there. Okay, there's one more drop. Okay, blow that out. Press your wax seal in. That has smoked quite a bit in the room. So I just press my wax seal down. You can go over it with some gilding wax as well, just to really make the design pop. Just pull that off and you've got a semi-completed wax seal, but I really like that. It looks a bit more authentic. Let me show you how to do a bit of gilding wax. So this is the gilding wax that I've got, and I just use a piece of old clothing screwed up. Touch into it ever so slightly and then just rub it along. And then the key is to lift it off a bit as well. Just give it a good rub to lift it off. And just spread it around a little bit. So I hope that's picked up really well. There you go. And I just love that little dot that's just there to the side. So there you have it. That's a really simple way just to add a little bit extra to the page. That flips over. Oh, I wish I'd have done that a touch higher and then it would have totally cleared that, but never mind. Still adds a nice touch to the whole page. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. Do check out my other video where I do this page if you haven't already. And thank you guys so much for watching.